What's up, everybody? It's your boys from We Talking About Sports. You guys
Yes.
haven't seen our face in over a month, but it's good to be back, fellas. We are missing Roland today, but we got the three of us going on. It's me, it's Ben, and it's Juan. What's up, boys?
Dude, I'm nervous. I haven't been on in a while.
Yeah, you got to shake it off, dog.
No, I'm good, man. What's up? I'm good. It's glad to be back. I'm ready to pod. I'm ready just to get into it because we have a lot of stuff to talk about.
What's
And
up,
you have a
Ben? What
hard
about you?
out. Be honest. You have a hard out, man.
And I have a what?
A hard out.
Hard
You got to
out.
be out of here at a certain time, pal.
Oh, yeah.
But no, what's up? Happy to pod. We kind of just put this together while we were like, man, we ain't been on since NFL ended, it seems like. So we got the draft coming up also. Should be getting more active now that NBA is dwindling down to the playoffs. MLB has started. So happy to be on, man.
Yeah, I think Roland got some stuff coming up for the draft, so we'll be hitting that pretty hard soon. But let's get into it, boys. We're going to start with the association today. That's where we're going to go with at first. And we're going to look at the playoff picture as it stands right now. And I'm going to go with the East. The East is wrapped up. The best record is the Celtics in the NBA. And I'm looking at second place, and I'm looking at the Bucks, guys. When I look at the Bucks, I'm seeing Giannis. I'm seeing that body wearing down. He looks tired. Him and Dame still don't seem like they're gelling correct. And I'm going to go to Ron first. Is it the Celtics to lose at this point in the Eastern Conference? Is this wrapped up for the Celtics? Will they be repping in the finals, the East?
You're going to hear the Kobe comparisons come out this year because the Celtics are going to get there. I think they're the favorites in the East. I said it before when we talked about it on our last show that I even wanted to sprinkle a little something on Tatum MVP because he was finally going to get over the hill this year. So I'll stick with my MVP play and I'll stick with the Celtics, man. It is their conference to lose, plain and simple. There's nobody else that's kind of coming close right now.
What about you, Ben? Is anybody
Yeah.
coming close to the Celtics at all?
I mean, I think that they're about as sure to be in the Eastern, I mean, in the NBA Finals representing the East as, a LeBron team was when he was in the East. Every year you knew that
Great
LeBron was going
comparison.
to come out of the East.
I like that.
They're just way better, bro. I mean, we saw this Bucks team lose at home to the Grizzlies a couple nights ago as a minus 13-point favorite, something crazy like that. No Bane in the lineup, obviously no Ja. Doc Rivers is over there coaching them, and he came in with excuses off the jump. This is just tainting his legacy even more. I don't see him lasting too long there, to be honest with you. But I mean, it's the Celtics to lose. I know that the Magic are young, the Knicks are tough. They just said that Julius Randle was taking season-ending surgery, so he'll be out for them. Maybe they get OG Anunoby back. Embiid just got back for the 76ers, so it's definitely the Celtics, to lose. I think that they shouldn't have much trouble in the playoffs. I think they should probably cruise to represent the Eastern Conference in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, who's their biggest threat there? The Cavs? I mean, if you
still got to think it's
them
the Sixers
together.
now that Embiid is back. Embiid has been gone for a large part of the season, and that is why the Sixers are so low. But with them being that low, I mean, it's possible that they play early on in the playoffs instead of, later on. But, yeah, you would think the Cavs, but, even them with their guards, Mitchell and Garland, they don't offer much resistance for the Celtics guards defensively. So
I do like the comparison about the Cavs team and LeBron. That was perfect. Just want to throw that in there.
On. All right, let's move over to the West. We got some new faces at the top, the Timberwolves. Guys, I got to ask you, are the Timberwolves built for the playoffs? They always say, the NBA season is two different seasons. It's the regular season and then the playoffs where everybody turns up, and that's the real season. Are they built the way they're structured right now? Are they built to contend in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think they're getting there. I mean, as Cat is still out for them, you still think that you need them at full strength in order to make a serious run. I mean, we've seen some teams have great regular seasons and bow out early in the playoffs, hence the Kings. I think it was just last year that they were a first-round exit after being a top 3 seed.
Is it confirmed that Cat's out?
He's been out.
Is he done for the year the way they just announced Randall?
No, well, no, I don't know that much.
Yeah,
I don't.
I'm not sure either. Too. That's why I
But
asked.
he's been out. They've been maintaining. We know the Thunder were the number one seed. A couple of weeks ago. They're up there half a game apart, tied the Nuggets and the T Wolves. I expect the Nuggets to be the number one seed when it's all said and done. But to answer your question, Justin, I still think that they need somebody else there with Ant. I do think that Ant is the truth. We've seen him on Sports Center a lot
A
recently with
lot.
dunks, just takes off down the lane. But I do think that he needs a Robin. And I don't, we didn't really think that Cat was the right Robin, but Gobert damn sure ain't. Mike Conley ain't right now either. Like, who else is going to be there in the playoffs that you can really rely on to get you a bucket? That's why I don't think the Timberwolves are just ready yet.
Yeah, I don't think Cat's a good enough number 2 to get you there. But I'm going to look at another young team, the Thunder. They're also pretty much at the top. That's a really young team. No playoff experience really from that team. What do you think they're going to do in the playoffs without that?
I don't think they're gonna do much, man. To be completely honest, I mean, can they have a possibility to to get to the Western Conference Finals? For me, yeah. I mean, I don't hate that bet, but to completely get it all the way done and go through the Celtics, or let's say go through the Nuggets or somebody like that in the West, I don't think they're there just yet. For me, I don't think it's as easy for the Nuggets in the West as it is for the Celtics in the East, but I'm don't see why the Nuggets can't repeat, man, to be completely honest. I mean, if you get past the younger teams in the Wolves and the Thunder who don't have that experience, then there's really nobody else. Long shot Lakers is the only thing you might have to, worry about. But to me,
So,
it's, the Nuggets and the Celtics headed to the NBA Finals this year.
All right. Ben, let's look at your Rockets. There are 3 games behind the Warriors. You said they have a big game today against the Warriors. Can you see them making the play-in game at 10?
not anymore. They had probably the best March that of any team. Udoka won Coach of the Month. Only lost a game or two. Jalen Green was up there for Player of the Month as well. But it's been a rough start to April. Lost to the T Wolves, and now down 10 to the Warriors here in the second quarter. So I don't know if they're going to quite catch up. The Warriors have started playing better basketball, veteran team. That's what you expect. A month and a half, 2 months away from the playoffs. Expect last 15 games get into playoff form, and hit the ground running. So I don't think the Rockets are going to make the play-in game this year. I was very hopeful, a week ago. We would have potted last week. It would have been a whole different
Oh,
story.
shit. They won like
Yeah.
10 in a row, no?
Yeah, they won 11 in a row.
Sheesh.
And then they lost to the Mavs, and then they lost to the T-Wolves. So they've lost 2 in a row, possibly 3 in a row tonight. So I don't, but I like what I'm seeing. I mean, they're 1 game over 500. Their win total for the season was like at 30 and a half or 29.
Mhm.
So they exceeded that. We know Sengun's been out. Tari Eason's been out. I really like what they're going to be bringing back next year. So
Yeah.
glad they got the right hire. They didn't go full Texans,
Got the
and
right
make the
hire.
playoff run, win a playoff game. But it was a big jump compared to the basketball they were playing the last 3 years.
Ron said that he did like the Nuggets to come out of the West here. Ben, I'm going to put you on the spot. And at this point, before the playoffs have started, who would you think comes out of the West?
Yeah, I'm changing my tune here. I'm changing my tune just based on what I've been watching. Shout out Uno, but it hasn't looked so good recently. I was on that Clippers train. I thought Kawhi, Paul George, Harden could have a shot. I think the West is pretty open. I'm changing my tune. I'm going with Phoenix. I'm
Oh,
going with
what?
Phoenix. Yeah,
Interesting take. Okay.
Why?
because they got KD, they got Booker, and then as your number 3, you got Beal, who's a guy that
Come
used to
on,
be
cuz.
a number 1. I've been watching them. Saw them play yesterday against the Cavs. Beat the brakes off them and held them to 101 points. So they're playing defense as well. But they got guys like Eric Gordon coming off the bench, Royce O'Neal, another veteran in the starting lineup who can extend the floor. So I like what I'm seeing from the Suns, bro. I do like what I'm seeing. We know that KD in the playoffs can never be counted out. Probably the guy that you want with the ball at the end of the game. I would say out of everybody in the playoffs, I think more people are. It's going to be between Kyrie and KD at the end of the game. Who they want taking the last shot? But yeah, I got the Suns. We'll see in a month.
All right, before we get off this Western Conference and we move to the next slide, I got to talk to the Lakers, and you've seen the Lakers win a few string of games now. Do you see the Lakers getting out of the play-in and maybe grabbing that 6th or 7th seed?
Ron,
Who?
you're a Lakers
Oh,
fan.
okay. Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, to me, of course, man. I think they're
Doesn't
definitely
have
going
to
to
be
get.
obvious. You can be realistic. You know.
No, because I mean, I said it too. Like the long shot for the Nuggets would have to be, the Lakers. And I mean, yes, I'm a Laker fan, but let's look at their squad the way you broke down the Suns and said, hey, they have, X, Y, and Z. The Lakers still have a lot of solid guys on that squad. And if they can get momentum, just like your Rockets did and won 11 in a row, they can be scary in the playoffs because it's not a one game. Everybody says it's hard to beat LeBron 4 times in a row, unless you're the Warriors, of course. But it's hard it's hard to beat LeBron 4 games out of a 7-game series. So we saw what they did last year. If
It's been
AD
done a
stays,
lot recently, though. It's been done a lot recently.
yeah, if AD stays healthy, which is the key, then I don't see why they don't make the plan plus more.
I agree.
I do think that they're getting, as a Laker hater, well-known Laker hater,
well documented,
very well documented. I do think that they're playing better basketball. Now, like I mentioned with the Warriors down the stretch, a team getting into playoff form, they could get that 8 seed. I don't see them. Well, I mean, it's even possible, bro, that they're out of the play-in and they secure a playoff spot without even having to fuck around.
Yeah.
With a game against the Warriors or a game against the Kings, whatever it may be. So the Lakers have been turning it around. I know that the schedule gets a little bit tougher here. They have today off and tomorrow off, and they come back Saturday with a pretty tough game. I think it might be the Pelicans. But
yeah, you see, and then if they play the Pels, they're only a game behind the Pels, and they can still jump. You never know; they could end up 6-7.
Does get tougher.
Yeah. I mean, if they end up the 6th to the 7th seed, then they'll play maybe the Clippers first round will be crazy, or like
and so like the.
Oh, he cut off.
Oh, that was getting good.
Luka, Kyrie's been doing his thing. What do you all expect from the Mavs this year in the West? And I guess we can get off basketball.
I actually think they're doing a little bit better. I think they found a way to mash Kyrie and Luka together. When they got Kyrie, I was like, why would they do that? Because, he's ball dominant as much as Luka can be, but it's working. It really is.
They did that because it worked with CP3 and Harden.
There you go.
But, yeah, the Mavs, Luka has been playing outrageous, bro. I mean, I just like.
Why is Josh saying they're going to go to the Western Conference Finals? I mean, let's not take it there, bro.
Luka has a lot of fans, bro. Luka has a lot of fans.
I'm a fan.
I didn't know Josh was a Luka fan, but wow. I like the new Luka Jordans that came out.
He likes soccer. It's like very European of Josh.
Well, let's go over to the league,
I'll grab a beer.
The MLB, the Major League Baseball. And Ron, I'm going to go with you first. And this is going to show you how long it's been since we potted, because this is kind of an old story now, but it's still relevant. And it's the Ohtani scandal with the whole betting situation. And I'm going to tell you, Ron, the culture around sports gambling is changing. It's more mainstream than ever.
Mm-hmm.
You talk to whoever on the street now, and they're gambling in sports some way or another, whether it's with a bookie, Prize Picks. It's just very, very prevalent. And in the past, sport leagues, they didn't want anything to do with betting at all. You had like the college basketball, they would not be associated with betting at all.
Mm-hmm.
And now everybody's embracing it, Ron. It seems like every league has a sponsorship from a sports book, whether it be DraftKings, FanDuel. Every league has some sort of sponsorship. The UFC, you cannot see it. ESPN owns their own book now. Everywhere you go. And we saw, a basketball player recently get pulled from the Raptors, right? He had some issues because they were showing like all his prop bets where it was like he was betting on himself. And I got to ask you, how deep is sports betting within professional athletes? Like, how many of them are throwing games or, fixing it sort of way, betting by proxy? How deep is sports betting within professional athleticism?
I'm going to say it's pretty deep, man. I mean, the person that we consider the GOAT, right? Speaking of basketball, we just came off that topic. Who's the GOAT in basketball to a lot of people? Michael Jordan. And everybody knows he had the biggest gambling addiction, ever. I think that players are never going to be allowed to do it. It's never going to be okay because they're actually partaking in the game. But I think it will start getting a little bit looser to where they won't get in trouble if, their best friend has an account or their mom, their dad, their brother, their sister. I think there's just no way that they can regulate that. So I think that they can get away with it if they want to bet, and nobody will ever know. It's just one of those unwritten rules, man. We're never gonna know if it's happening or not, and nobody can ever find a solution for it. But as somebody who does bet on sports, that's not cool, bro. If they're betting on themselves, because they have inside information that we may not know, and we could be just tossing money away to the book, man.
They see their teammate, he has a bad back right now. He's injured, but he's going out there. They know those things, man. They have the insider information.
Yeah.
Ben, what about you? How
if I
widespread
take
do you think
Ohtani,
betting is in all the major sports?
I mean, I just take it to the skit that SNL did when they breaking down they're like, it's Sports Center and they're breaking down the Ohtani betting and how it's not allowed and players. And now we have a break from our advertisers over here at
DraftKings,
FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, just every book, because they're on Sports Center. They have the ESPN bet, the tickers everywhere. Like, this guy, this was bullshit. This was some bullshit. The way that they played it off, like, this guy it's so obvious. Like, I don't know who his PR team is, but they screwed the pooch on this one. It went from he was helping guy out that was in debt to he didn't know about it at all to the guy stole $4 million from him without him knowing, even though this guy was smart enough to defer his money till after his contract's done and was, that technical. Like, come on, guy. Like, everybody can see through the bullshit. This almost reminds me of one of those, like, this guy's, we could say now that he's bigger than the game, bro. It's safe to say that he's bigger than the game. Shohei Ohtani brings that much to baseball that they couldn't, what's going to happen? They suspend him, and then all of that country boycotts the MLB, like they kind of went down with the NBA and Daryl Morey. Get out of here. They just had this guy on the cover of MLB The Show. Like, this guy's bigger than the game, and he hasn't even been in the game for 5 years, which is wild. But it's bullshit.
I was thinking too, man, how much of a coincidence that he gets paid that crazy contract and then this comes out. I have some like conspiracy theory that, the people that knew about this scandal, they brought it up to him and he was like, look, let me sign this big deal first and then I'll pay you guys off or something. Because if this would have came out before that deal, there's no way he gets this contract at all, bro.
Nope.
There's no way, dude. I mean, he's going to go from the Angels and just be in limbo.
He'll be over there in the KBO.
He'll be back in Japan playing for the Sharks.
I mean, if this happens, a month earlier?
Yeah, but it was probably timed that way for sure, Ron. Like I said, he's bigger than the game, bro. This is probably news that was withheld, and then, but they just did it really wrong. The way they went about it, you could tell that they're guilty, and it was very obvious. What I will say, though, is like in MMA, it's not a problem when these fighters bet on other fighters to win. Like, we've seen Anthony Pettis post a bunch of betting tickets.
He posts them, but he's not in the league when he posted them, right?
Well, no,
but
he's
James
not in the
Krause
fight
is
either.
where it gets ridiculous because he's actually
coaching.
Well,
yeah, but when you're betting against your fighters, like I even think like if they're betting on themselves, what's the problem with that? Oh, they think they're going to win.
Pete Rose did.
Don't they all isn't the point to go out there and try and win, right? That's what you go in there thinking. I don't see a problem with betting against yourself. It's when you bet against yourself.
You're going to throw it in.
Yeah, betting for yourself, there's no problem. And I also feel like they should be able to bet on other sports, bro. Like,
I agree.
The NFL has nothing to do with the MLB. This guy should be able to go watch an MMA fight with some of his boys on,
throw down some money.
Throw down some money on a main event because he's going to the Conor fight or whatever the hell it may be.
I agree.
Like, but I think the situation was bullshit, but I am on the side that if you're not betting on your sport, I don't see the problem.
Yeah. I think that's the safe way to do it. Like, should regulate it. Like, if you're a player, you should have like a player's account and they monitor all that. And you just don't bet on your own sport, but he should be able to bet NFL all day if he wants to. There's no conflict of interest at all with that.
NFL would be sick.
You probably don't even know the fucking rules. Like, he lost 4.5. I mean,
that's probably why he. That's why he probably got upset because they lost him $4 million.
You can't bet anymore, right? It's the MLB. Like, hey, brother, you're gonna have a serious problem, and you just got started. Like, relax.
No shit. That's another way to look at it too.
Like Jordan was doing this when he was a veteran, kid. You just got
Yeah.
here. Like,
Yeah.
relax.
Let's move it over. I know Ben's going to be excited to talk about this, and I'm sure Edgar's been waiting. It's the NFL, and it's the
Well, let
off
me get
season, boys.
let me get my Warrior Wrestling Academy promo in real quick
Oh,
before
go
I
ahead,
bounce.
Ron. My bad.
Because I don't want to get into the Texans because I know Edgar's been in the chat all day, bro. So yeah,
Yeah,
He's
Sasuke,
trying to convert us, dog. That's what it
Sasuke,
is.
bro. Yeah, I'm away.
Edgar.
All right, so real quick, boys. This is let me bring it up here on the screen. All right, so Warrior Wrestling Academy is having their Grand Prix. What this is, bro, it's really cool. It's 5 events. The first one actually already started, but they take place in Mission, Port Isabel, Harlingen, and then the Valley's Finest will be the very last competition, in this Grand Prix of events. So there's one about every weekend this month. The first one's called First Blood. Then you have Castaway, Battle of the Hashashine, Border Lands, and then finally the Valley's Finest. If you want any more information, call the number at the bottom of the screen. This is for all ages. It's wrestling for kids. I don't think they have an adult level, but either way, go check them out on their Facebook, on their social media pages. Warrior Wrestling Academy. Raymond, what's up, bro? We love to do events with these guys. He really cares about the kids. And even if you're not participating or want to sign up or register, just go by and check it out. If you have some extra time, they have tickets at the door. You can order tickets for all 5 events at the same time too, and you'll get a discount. But again, if you want more information like that, the number's at the bottom of the screen. The Grand Prix for spring for Warrior Wrestling Academy, man. Go to their social media and get some more info on it because it's pretty legit.
And it ain't WWE, it's for real. So.
Yeah, it's amateur wrestling. The real deal.
It's cool, man. They have classes and everything like that too. So really cool guys over there.
All right, Ron, do we still got you for a little more time?
I'm out. I got to go have dinner with my mom and stuff. So
all right. Enjoy.
Talk about your boy CJ Stroud, though.
Nah. I'll come back with the Texans jersey.
Hey, Ron, just before you leave, CJ Stroud has some pull, dog, as a rookie. He's got some pull.
I ain't gonna lie. Hey, shout out GLG Insurance too. If y'all need any insurances, or if you guys want to be on our show, hey, we'll talk about your business, bro. We'll help you guys blow up. But that's it, boys. I gotta go. I don't want to get my mom all mad.
All right, man. Enjoy.
Later.
All right, Ben. So for you, let's get into this offseason. And you know what it's been. It's been the Houston Texans. They have probably won the offseason. I'm going to go with the graphic on the right here, Ben. Who has improved most this offseason? We know it's the Texans after yesterday. It's a wrap. It's them. Who's number 2? Who improved the most this offseason after the Texans? And before we get into the Texans.
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty tough. I do think it's tough. I want to say the Falcons because you want to think that they got their quarterback right. They had the weapons there. They got rid of the coach who everybody thought was an idiot. They replaced the quarterback, but it's a quarterback coming out of a crazy injury, an Achilles injury. At his age, got a big deal. So you expect, Kirk's going to throw it up. I do like that move, but aside from that, I don't think that they did anything too crazy with the Steelers. I mean, I think that I'm not saying Russell Wilson is the best pickup, but they made the right choice moving on from Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, they did.
I think that that's just a huge step forward for them in their franchise. It's not even the acquisition of players. I did got on one April Fool's tweet, the one that had Justin Jefferson traded to the Steelers. I ain't gonna lie, that one got me. And then the camarada sent it in the group chat. I'm not even gonna say his name because he's coming out. Shout out Bull. He deleted the message right after. So I was like, fuck, I had already shared it in 2 other group chats. And so I ran in there April Fools. But I got too. I was like, damn, the Steelers did it. That's crazy. And the Eagles got Saquon Barkley, bro.
Yeah.
I think that for the Eagles, that was a missing piece, although DeAndre Swift really surprised a lot of people, especially fantasy football owners. He was a hell of a late-round pickup. But Saquon Barkley, the Eagles getting Saquon, and not losing A.J. Brown. I think that that's a good thing for their offseason so far. I mean, we still have draft night to come, but we know that A.J. Brown was kind of unhappy at the later part of the season, similar to Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs did find his way out. A.J. Brown is still there. So I think that that's a positive move for the Eagles, without having to acquire somebody, just being able to keep their players in house.
All right. Well, Ben, here we go. We're going to talk about the Houston Texans now.
The obvious
Yes,
best.
they obviously won yesterday. Definitely wrapped it up. I don't even think the draft matters at this point. What they did in the offseason was excellent. And Houston knows about the formula when you land on a rookie quarterback, a really good rookie quarterback, and he's on a rookie contract. You surround him with enough pieces. It's been done before. Championships have been won that way. Doesn't happen every time, but it's a good formula to win it.
This reminds me of the Rams going all in, trading for OBJ and doing all of that.
Really do you see the Houston Texans with this core, this offense on paper? You're looking at it. You got C.J. Stroud. I mean, he's a stud. Joe Mixon. I know you're not too excited about Joe Mixon. Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz. On paper, this is A+.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what, a top 5 offense in the NFL on paper?
On paper, I think it's top 5. I want to say top 3. Obviously the Eagles' offense is up there.
Factor Laramie Tunsil in there, one of the best left tackles.
The part that I like about it is now throughout the draft. So what they did is they traded their first-round pick to the Vikings, and they got 2 second-round picks for this year. They dealt one of those second-round picks
to the Bills.
Man. Am I still here?
Yes, you're here.
Yeah, okay. They dealt one of those second-round picks to the Bills, and then they kept the other second-round pick, so they're still going to have a second-round pick. And then they gave a 5th and a 6th. I don't hate it, but this is what I mean by going all in. You talked about the formula, rookie quarterback. That's when you really got to go for it. They had a lot of money this offseason. We're kind of hesitant at the beginning. Saquon Barkley comes out on a podcast, says, yeah, I thought I was going to Houston. And then I just ended up wanting to be closer to home. We know that he went to Penn State. He's a PA guy, and Philly's right there. So they did it all. And now through the draft, you just have to draft defense. You just have to try and draft as many players that you think can fill in some of those gaps. The O-line, like you mentioned with Laramie Tunsil, maybe they draft an interior lineman. But, bro, you just draft defense on top of the young defense you already have. This offense, C.J. Stroud broke records last year, and then you just go re-up. You didn't have a whole clip to start with, and then now you come back with like an extended clip. It's gonna be
got that extra ammo.
Yeah, in fantasy football, C.J. Stroud, I think that he's gonna be one of the top 3 quarterbacks drafted this season. I know I just have to throw fantasy football in there, but with the amount of weapons and the points that we're going to be expecting the Texans to score, C.J. Stroud's going to go high. I will say I was kind of surprised by them shedding and Stephon Diggs agreeing to shed off the last 3 years of his contract and just kind of have it as a 1-year prove-it deal. I like it because it's a contract year for him and he's got to prove it. The Texans aren't tied in long-term. Like I said, all it took was a second-round pick that they got from the Vikings. In a later pick. So it's not like you mortgage the whole future to come bring in this guy, right? But he's going to want to make that money. So he's going to want to ball out. Best interest of the Texans. And, if he does ball out and the Texans do have money to pay him, you know what I mean? Maybe they just pay him, but let's have a trial run first. They're leasing him out. You know what I mean? Might be leased to buy. We'll find out.
A lot's been said about the locker room issues with Stephon Diggs, but I really think the leader that C.J. Stroud is and the head coach you guys have, D'Amico Ryans, I don't see this being a problem. I don't think that's going to be an issue at all for the Texans.
D'Amico's a player's coach, so you wouldn't see it being a problem. You would think that he can kind of get through to the guy. When he was with Minnesota, he had that older head coach. His name going by me right now. Right now over there, we know that Sean McDermott's there. And, this is a guy that played players coach. And to be honest, it's a 1-year deal. It's not like he started acting up as soon as he got to Buffalo. He got to Buffalo and had the best year of his career. You know what I mean? So
he became a Pro Bowler.
Right. I like it. And bro, this is a testament to shit. Now I want my skill players to be voted into Pro Bowls because this all happened over the Pro Bowl. When CJ Stroud got in as one of the quarterbacks, they talked about him and Diggs, connecting over there, then Diggs reaching out to Andre Johnson, Texans legend. So
He
this
reps
was
Texans
brewing.
hard all the way through and through.
This was brewing for a while. Like we had heard about this, like I said, over the Pro Bowl, and here we saw it come into fruition. So I saw a hilarious tweet yesterday, on Twitter. Just somebody tweeted, "Yo, who the fuck is the Texans GM?" Right? Because just out of nowhere, you're bringing in players. They signed Hunter to that big deal at defensive end from the Vikings. So
Ex-Patriots guy, right?
I think he was with the Vikings. I'm not. Oh yeah, it's Casario, the ex-Patriots
Casario.
guy. Yeah, for sure. But so that's why like I said, that 1 year deal for Diggs surprised me. But I think they know what they're doing. Like it's in the best interest of both. And if he has a career year, why is he going to want to leave? The Texans are going to want to pay him if he comes through. You
And
know
they'll
what
have
I
the
mean?
cap to do it too.
Yeah, and they'll have the cap to do it. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at this.
It seems like the Texans are all in, Ben. Something that
For
was
sure.
promised to us Cowboys fans, and
For
I'm
sure.
just not seeing it. It doesn't.
Let's
seem
talk
fair.
about that because Derrick Henry went on, I guess, an Around the NFL podcast and said his dream scenario would have been
He said it was a perfect fit for
putting the
him.
star, perfect scenario. And then he said my phone didn't even ring from that area code.
It's sickening when I look at the alerts of who we signed. He's not all in. He is not. He's ready to punt on this team, and he's not serious about winning at this point. I think he's just content with selling the facade of being all in, so he can sell tickets and rack up the dollars. He's not.
Tickets are going to sell regardless, and the reason why I do think that he's all in is because they didn't sign Dak to that crazy deal. They didn't extend Dak. That told me a lot. And here, let's talk about some rumors. Let's talk about some conspiracy theories. We heard Deion Sanders say his son ain't going to play it for certain NFL teams.
Yeah.
Do you see a path for Shadur Sanders to be the Cowboys quarterback as a rookie?
I don't know what the relationship is like with Deion and Jerry these days. They were pretty tight when he was a Cowboy. And Jerry, he likes to get hometown guys. He would always get the Arkansas guys because that's where he went to college, and he would get stuff like that. He doesn't draft a lot of Longhorns. He drafts a lot of SMU and Texas A&M guys. I don't know, man. I could see a path, but I don't know if Shadur is, will fall that far because the Cowboys, they're a 12-win playoff team, right? They've been that for 3 years in a row. We don't get top 10, 15 picks, So,
and you think that's where Shadur's going? Top 10, 15?
I think there's a spot for him in the side of the top 15 because the quarterbacks between it's like him and it's Ewers that are coming out and a few other guys. He's gonna be.
That's true. He has, yeah.
So
he could be the top QB taken next year. I mean, we know how we feel about Ewers, but if we're right, if Ewers is the top quarterback coming back, fuck. Shadur has a chance of being, or we also have a chance of a quarterback not going number one.
Yeah. So the last thing I want to talk about with the Texans, of course, let's draw some comparison with the Cowboys. Are the Texans now a better team than the Cowboys? And we're talking about a 3 years in a row, 12-win Cowboys with the playoffs. Are they better than that?
I don't know if they're better just yet. I think they might be better after this coming season based on the weapons, but the ceiling is 100% way higher just based off the quarterback position. Yeah. Like we're talking about rookie year, CJ Stroud with the rookie head coach got to the second round, won their division, something the Cowboys didn't do, and got second round exit, to the Ravens, which was the number 1 seed with the bye. That's not too bad, bro. If that's the floor, with a rookie QB and a rookie coach.
He's only going to get better, brother. I've seen
year
him
2,
play.
You go and build around them. You put those weapons. You fill in some gaps. I mean, fuck, the window's open. The window just opened.
Yeah. All right, let's move over to the Final Four. That's what's going on this weekend, Ben. And I'm going to start with the women first because it seems like the buzz is around the women. You're talking about, getting on Twitter and all you see is talk about the men and how this might be one of the worst drafts of all time coming out of college. There's just not a lot of star power, but it seems like the women have all the star power right now. I got to ask you, is this just based on the LSU-Iowa rivalry, or is women's basketball on an uptick? And do you see them, starting to see more ticket sales? Because, it's been selling out. They've been selling out stadiums.
Yeah, women's basketball, the complete opposite of women's MMA. This shit has been entertaining. I tuned in for the doubleheader on Monday night, Iowa and
Millions
LSU
of people did.
to start off. I heard that it had like crazy numbers, bigger numbers than any NCAA men's game this year
It
so far.
it beat out a Thursday night football for the NFL. You know how the NFL's king for viewership. It beat
Yeah,
a
that's a
Thursday night
solo
game.
game on a Thursday for them, but
Yeah.
it was on Amazon, so
Hey, no, but that's when you can beat the NFL in a metric. That's something.
I know. But Amazon compared to cable TV, not everybody has Amazon TV, so that's kind of skewed. But I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
They're in the ballpark, and you would never think that NCAA, women's basketball was in the ballpark. But I mean, shit. Here we had Ice Cube come out and offer Caitlin Clark 5 mil
$5 million.
to go play for the Big Three. That shit had me in my group chats like, yo, are you all with this shit? Like, she's in the Big Three. I mean, I know that it's retired NBA players, but like, how are they gonna feel about this white girl coming in making 5 mil? And these dudes, I mean, I know they've made bigger money in their past, right, in their primes with the NBA, but how are they gonna feel about that? How's she gonna feel shooting with a men's ball? You know what I mean? Like,
I
I
didn't
don't
think
know
of
how
that.
it's
I
going
didn't
to
think of
work
that at
out. I
all.
think it's an awesome move by Ice Cube, the PR stunt. You're in the headlines. The Big Three's up there. The season's probably going to be starting soon. I don't see it happening, but yeah, bro, this is star power for sure. I even tuned into the second game. I saw USC and Juju play against UConn, and that girl for UConn went
Euchers.
crazy.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was the number 1 5-star coming out of high school, above Caitlin. So they're going to play next. So that's going to be one hell of a game to look forward to.
I
Can
also saw
anybody
that
beat the
Gino.
undefeated South Carolina girls, though?
Yeah, speaking of dream scenarios, this chick Caitlin Clark wanted to go to UConn. I saw that, but Gino Oriema didn't even offer nothing. So I mean, it happens, bro. It happens to athletes everywhere.
Yeah. Edgar says, what does the WNBA pay? I'll tell you right now, it doesn't pay the $5 million that Ice Cube was offering.
Not
That's
at
why
all.
you
I
got
mean,
all these
college
girls going
pays
to
her
Russia
more.
to play and other places to make up for that because it does not pay.
Yeah, college pays her more, to be honest with you. I mean, her NIL deal right now is worth millions of dollars. I don't know if she'll even hit $1 million in the WNBA. Hey, maybe she is the chick that goes and rewrites it. Or maybe this is what the WNBA has been missing is somebody like Caitlin Clark. I mean, we've had the Sabrina, we've had the Maya Moores, but for some reason, this chick has like this Steph Curry kind of aura to her, bro. Everybody's tuning in. Everybody.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move over to the men's here, and it's the Final Four for the men's. It's number 1 UConn, the number 1 overall seed, versus number 4 Alabama, and we got the Cinderella team, North Carolina State versus number 1 Purdue. And I say Cinderella because they wouldn't be here if they don't beat North Carolina in the ACC championship just to get into the tournament. The magic has not fell off of them, and everybody talks about DJ Burns, or I think that's his last name.
Yep.
Everybody
Junior.
loves that kid. Ben, real quick, give me who you got in this matchup with North Carolina State and Purdue.
Yeah, bro. NC State played 4 games in the ACC tournament, and then they came in as, I think, a play. No, they got in for sure, but I mean, they've been an underdog. They've been upsetting teams for like the last month. It's just been upset after upset. I'm done picking against them, so they probably will lose here against, a very stout Purdue team that was bound to go and face off against UConn in the championship, just a battle of the 7-footers. But
Yeah.
DJ Burns has thrown a wrench in the party, and I think DJ Burns has the game to get Zach Edey in foul trouble.
Yes.
And Purdue without Zach Edey on the floor, I know we've seen him that he sat out like 30 seconds one of their games. Like without Zach Edey, they're just a good college basketball team. But when you throw a 7'3" guy out there, they're a very good college basketball team. So I think DJ Burns has the game, and he'll stand up to Edey to where he might be able to get him in some foul trouble. I'm done picking against NC State, though, bro. So give me NC State. Let's get Cinderella a run here.
Yeah. Let's go over to UConn and Alabama. Nate Oates, one hell of a coach right here. Who do you got here, Ben?
Yeah, this is UConn. It's been one-way traffic. Alabama, I have been picking Alabama against Alabama quite a bit. They've been getting those upsets. I mean, they don't have any players the way they had with Brandon Miller on the team or anybody like that, but somehow Nate Oates is getting it done. I think that this is where it ends, though. I mean, I had UConn winning my bracket. I had them going back-to-back, so I'm going to for sure ride them to get into the – no Diddy. I'm going to ride them to get into the finals.
It's you got to specify that before you say things like that. Now it's no longer pause. It's no Diddy. That has taken
No
over.
Diddy.
All right,
Had to
let's go
use
to
it
the last
once.
one, Ben, and this one is for me
This
mostly.
is all you right here. No Diddy
Yeah,
for
are you going to
sure.
be watching? I know you got the service Peacock. Are
I
you going to
have
be on this?
Peacock. I'll tune in. I'll tune in.
All right, well, let's talk about the main events for night one. It's the Bloodline, which consists of The Rock. The Rock is back. If you haven't seen wrestling in a while, he's back. And he's teaming up with his cousin, Roman Reigns. And they'll be taking on Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Now, the whole stipulation for this match goes into night two. If the Bloodline wins, then night two's main event will be a match that is Bloodline rules. That means all the interference in the world, all the run-ins, the stuff you love to see in wrestling.
So that's what's going to happen then. They will win night one.
So you know Bloodline's going over night one. They're winning night one because everybody wants to see who's going to come out to the ring night two to help Roman Reigns keep the title on him. So night two main event. This is the big one because night two it's the very last event.
The granddaddy
Roman
of them
Reigns,
all.
Cody Rhodes, right there. What's that?
It's Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. The
Yes,
main event of night two,
and if you're familiar with last year's WrestleMania, it's a rematch of last year's WrestleMania.
where everybody thought Cody Rhodes was going to win and get over finally.
A lot of people thought Cody Rhodes was finally going to finish his story and, win the championship. His dad never was able to win. Now, his dad, he kind of won the belt one time, but it was on a disqualification. The belt never went to him. And it's just something he always wanted his father always wanted. His father always talked about it. And so he thought he was going to kind of like be able to do that for his pops. They punted on it last year. They let Roman Reigns win. I don't see them doing that this year. I think Cody does finish his story at this point.
Does he have the record still, Roman Reigns, or is he chasing it for the
No, he has he's chasing two guys left. He's got like 3,000 days, bro. I mean, it's insane how long he's been the champion, man.
So why? And I mean, like who has or who was champion for damn near a decade or
Bruno Sammartino, which would be Vince McMahon Jr.'s his dad's champion. So his dad let that man be champion for like 8,000 days or something.
Oh wow.
Or 6,000. Roman Reigns, it's attainable for him to get it if he were to win this WrestleMania and then go off and defend for the year. It's a possibility, and it's hard for me not to want that. I'm a big Roman Reigns fan. I would love to see him break all the records and just be the complete GOAT, because at that point, like, what's left? He's won every title to win. And I'd be sad if Roman loses, because we did have a biography come out on him this past week where he talked about if he were to lose, that's going to be a wrap for him. He's done everything. He's got his family in all the main events now. So he's done good by everybody, bro.
But that also might be a reason for the WWE to just let him keep winning if they know that he's outright. Is he that much of a draw?
He's the biggest draw that the WWE's had in years. They do $1 billion a year now. I mean, it's big business. They sold out WrestleMania, last year.
But
it was already sold out for this year.
Yeah, but WrestleMania is always sold out.
No, bro. Back in the day, like after the Attitude Era, they couldn't sell out stadiums the way they are now. Is the
Attitude Era back?
The Attitude Era is sort of back now. There is a deal for Monday Night Raw to go to Netflix, and you're seeing The Rock. He's coming out dropping F-bombs on TV now. So it's definitely,
if he's at the table, like making the big time decisions.
Yeah, he's part of the TKO board. So
I think we might be getting back to the Attitude Era.
Yeah, I think if we go to Netflix, it's no longer a cable situation. You can say whatever you want, do whatever you want. And that's when wrestling gets really fun. When
that's when
guys
you have the crazy acts also, bro. That's when you get like the Al Snows with Head, and you get all these crazy. I don't know who this girl's name is. I'm sure you'll get into her match here soon. But Justin, I think that I see Roman Reigns winning, bro. As somebody who has not watched one Monday Night Raw or Thursday Night SmackDown, I just think that maybe they ride the story of Cody Rhodes being a loser like his dad and never getting the belt. And if Roman Reigns is the biggest draw and has not threatened retirement, but put it on the table once he loses, it wouldn't be very smart business of the WWE. Plus, he's The Rock's cousin. Now The Rock's in charge.
Yeah,
he's gonna win, bro. I just that's the science on that.
So here's the thing: there's good business to be done, Ben, because they can easily make Roman win. They can make the guy that Cody's fighting with night one. They could make him turn on Cody night two. And then all of a sudden now you got a good bad guy in Seth Rollins that everybody hates, and that's money whenever you got a really good bad guy, because that's what everybody wants is someone to beat up the bad guy. That's why Roman's business has been so good because he's the bad guy. He is killing it because no one could beat him at all, and everybody's interested in the chase. No one cares once the good guy has the belt. Like, oh, okay, it's over. He has the belt now. Everybody's interested in that chase, and as long as you have a top guy like Roman, I mean, you're made.
Happen tonight, right?
What's up?
That's what they're saying, I guess. Is it going to happen tonight or is it not going to? But you're saying once it happens, then okay.
It's over. The story's done. What do you do from there? Like, you got to book a good guy. It's the money's always been in the bad guy and the good guy chasing the bad guy. That's always been the money. So it's hard when you're looking at $1 billion a year to punt on something like that. You want to keep that cash cow rolling as long as you can. And for him to say that he's out after he's done, I mean, you know,
but maybe him being out means The Rock being in a little bit more.
Well,
and The Rock is a cash cow. What's that?
Well, I didn't hear that last one. What did you say?
I said, I mean, maybe him being out and The Rock kind of being back in the picture. The Rock is the kind of the cash cow, and he's also bringing people in. So,
well, the initial plan was for The Rock and him to fight each other, cousin versus cousin, and they were going to say who's the real like Islander in charge, the head of the table, right? Unfortunately, a lot of the fans really want Cody because he's the babyface. They want to see him finish that story. They made that, you know, change, and now it's the way it's set up, the way it is.
So The Rock backtracked, bro. He went out there, slapped him, and then backtracked.
So now there's a chance that, you know, you can also do Rock screws over Roman, and now you got Rock and Roman. You don't need a belt for that, right? Because those are two huge ass names. You can do that. That's good business. I mean, there's a lot of ways. I'm looking forward to seeing possibly some new guys come in because, you know, with this bloodline rules, we could get another cousin come over from Japan. I mean, they just signed one of them. So I'm kind of looking forward to like who's going to come into this. This is what I'm looking forward to at least.
All right. That's the main event. What else we got?
That's it, man. That's the only ones I really wanted to talk to because those are the two main events. Logan Paul, I know you've kept up with or you've seen his highlights on Twitter.
Logan Paul fighting Brock or no?
Logan Paul's fighting Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. So you know you're going to see some good spots between Kevin Owens and Logan Paul. You know he's going to do his flips and whatnot. But it's going to be a solid card. Lil Wayne was there Monday night, and he said he's showing up. Meek Mill, they're in Philadelphia. He's going to be doing the opener. I'm not sure what weight Meek Mill carries nowadays with association with Diddy, but and the other one we got that I'm also looking forward to is the two twins, The Rock's cousins, Jimmy and Jay Uso. The Uso twins, they're fighting each other. That's going to be fun.
So who's Brock fighting? Why is he up here?
So Brock, it's just the graphic. Brock is not in the WWE as it stands.
Wow.
A lot of circumstances outside involving the Vince McMahon lawsuit have prevented Brock from being.
Damn, Brock was involved or what?
What's that?
Brock was getting the kickbacks from Vince?
Supposedly if you're to believe what the lawsuit says, which you should probably. I mean, it seems like a lot of it. He was involved. Part of his contract signing was that a stipulation that he would meet with one of the women and, you know, exchange intercourse as part of his signing. So it is what it is. I mean, Brock being a freak is that really
it just
crazy?
Came out that Diddy was doing the same thing. If he wanted a beat from a producer, that he would just send him a chick instead of pay him. Like that shit. That's crazy that these guys roll like that. Hey, we got Jeremy Raw, very avid WWE fan. This is 100% for you, Justin. I know several Jacobs. I don't know any Zillas.
So Jacob or Zilla. Jacob Fatu, he's like, they call him the werewolf. This dude is like 300 pounds, Ben. Like, he looks like Umaga, right? But this dude can flip every way, do everything, dog. It's insanity the way that man moves. And Zilla is Umaga's son, who just got into wrestling. He's been training with Booker T's Reality of Wrestling. He's ready to go, bro. You see the clips on Twitter. Both these guys look like they could be next. They got next. And there's a dude from Japan. His name is Tama something Tonga. And he's also part of that, like, Islander cousins. And that dude's ready to go, bro. And he just signed with the WWE. He hasn't made any debut yet. So that's why I'm thinking maybe he runs in at some point.
Hey, but answer
it's
the
WrestleMania
question.
season, bro. I'm hyped. You know how it is.
Jacob or Zilla?
Well, one of the two can come in. Maybe both. They've been taking photos together left and right. So who knows?
they're not fighting. I thought they were fighting each other. He's saying they might run out.
Yeah, he's saying they might run out because I was saying one of the cousins could come in because if it's the bloodline rules, that means everybody can come out. Like there's no rules at all. So we'll see what happens.
Sure.
But I'll text you through the WrestleMania event. We'll chop it up
I
while
have
it happens.
Peacock,
I'm sure
bro.
you'll watch like last year.
I'm loyal to Law and Order SVU, and they moved to Peacock, so I'm subscribed to Peacock on behalf of Olivia Benson. So I have access, bro.
That's what I'm saying. And you also watch Tottenham, and Tottenham plays on Peacock.
I watch Tottenham. I watch The Office, but the super fan edition, the fan episodes.
I hate those, bro. I hate them.
Really?
They butchered them. They take too long. Like, instead of being like a 21-minute, grab your attention funny episode, they're like 30 minutes now, and you're like,
come on, bro. You're the only one that complains for more time of arguably what people say is the best comedic should get, bro.
I used to love The Office, bro, and I still do, but not the super fan episodes.
Come on, bro.
All right, man. Well, it's been good to chop it up with you. I'm glad that we're back. Let's do something next Thursday.
UFC
again,
300.
Right?
We got to do something for that card next week. So we'll be back.
That's a big card. Let's do something for that, man. Everybody who was in the comments, everybody who stayed with us, we appreciate y'all. Edgar, Jeremy, Eddie, Edgar Trevino was in here too. Thank y'all.
Hey, Edgar Trevino's been on my ass after Luka did that.
He's a Mavs fan, dude, through and through. Yeah. So good to see. But all right, boys, we'll see y'all later.